Hello, and welcome to Greet the Week. I am Mona Duncan, your moderator, and today we are going to be talking about happiness is. What is happiness? So I'll be share the screen with all of you and bring it up today up to the largest size. And we will talk about what is happiness and how do we embrace it and so forth. We have been looking at the moniker of the pleasure pain syndrome, which was looking at the fact that we as human beings, we, we want things to be nice, we want things to be pleasant, we want things to be understandable, but there sometimes a lot of pain comes in, and then how do we handle that? So there's 8 things in particular with the pleasure pain syndrome that I wanted us to look at. And the first 5 was all we do is behave. Well, they're on the website, so you could, or the YouTube solution principles at 253. And so we're down to the 5th to the 6th one, which is happiness is. We're going to be talking about that. And we are looking at the definition from William Glasser, who is the founder of reality therapy and choice theory. And in his definition, he gave 4 qualifiers for happiness. One, in happiness is enjoying the life you are choosing to live. And I guess it also kind of incorporates the fact that you are choosing what you are living and what you are doing. Another qualifier of happiness is getting along well with the people near and dear to you. And then the third qualifier for happiness is doing something with your life you believe is worthwhile. And hopefully, as we've mentioned those 3 thus far, I'm hoping that maybe you were thinking of some things, or maybe jotting down the life you're choosing to live, or the people that are near and dear to you, and then what you are doing with your life that is worthwhile. But the 4th qualifier of being happy and of contributing happiness to others is the not doing anything to deprive another of a chance for happiness. And I worked with the federal prison system for 22 years. And in working with the inmates, there was a lot of, I taught them life skills, or that was the goal, and not to do anything to deprive another of a chance for happiness. Because, well, and what that begins to lead to is we begin to, and maybe we're doing something with our life that we believe is worthwhile, as in with criminal activity, robbing, raping, maiming, pillaging. Sometimes you may think it's fun, or may think it's giving you what you want, but it's really causing more problems. And so doing those things that deprive another for a chance for happiness leads to violence, unloving sex, mental illness, and addictions of all kinds. And so Dr. Glasser, looking at mental health, which would be incorporated, of course, in happiness, here are some qualifiers. Here's his definition of it. You are mentally happy when you enjoy being with most of the people you know, especially the important people in your life, such as family, sexual partner, and friends. Generally, you are happy and more than willing to help an unhappy family member, friend, or colleague to feel better. You lead a mostly tension-free life, laugh a lot, and rarely suffer from the aches and pains so many people accept as the unavoidable part of life and living. You enjoy life, and you have no problems accepting other people who think and act differently. It rarely occurs to you to criticize or try to change anyone. If you have a difference with someone, you will try to work out the problem. If you can't, you will walk away before you argue and increase the difficulty. You are creative in what you attempt and may enjoy more of your potential than you ever thought possible. Finally, even in very difficult situations when you are unhappy, no one can be happy all the time. You'll know why you are unhappy and attempt to do something about it. So that was his definition of mental, being mentally healthy and mentally happy. And then also he looked at those that are not quite so mentally healthy. He says, I believe that barring grinding poverty, incurable illness, or living under tyranny, unhappiness is the only human problem. Well, that's pretty deep, but that was his opinion. He goes on to say, when we are unhappy, we are unsatisfied and try to do something about it, which is to change our own life, or more often, to try to change someone else's life. And when we are unhappy, our life contracts. So, what does it mean to contract? And how often, rather than changing our perception or changing, at least looking to see if there's some equality to what the other person's perception is, what does it mean when we are unhappy and how our life begins to contract? Well, our thinking, our living, our enjoyment begins to diminish, it shrinks, it narrows, it withers, it reduces. So, and sometimes we get into synthesized happiness. And what is synthesized happiness? Well, from the Greek, it means to put together or to produce something artificially. Synthetic suede is more durable than the real thing, supposedly. And that synthetic is artificial, man-made, fake, phony, counterfeit. So we want the genuine, real thing of having happiness, but not through being synthesized. And it's knowing that happiness in and of itself is not found in stuff. Bob, not his real name, was in search of happiness and accepted and bought the latest model pickup truck. That was just absolutely sure that this is going to be the end all of all problems in life and everything will be a-okay. It brought smiles galore and he was big man on campus for about 10 days. But then, after everyone had admired his truck and talked about it and ended it and taken a ride in his new toy, this object became old news. And the delight and the fame was gone. And so was Bob's happiness. He was kind of back to being, no. Reality set in of the burden of a monthly payment over what his income, on his income. And a wiser Bob wised up and he traded his wonderful, bigger vehicle for a smaller vehicle and attached new meaning to his life and to the possessions that he had. And we can do the same thing with reality, the places we live, the things that we have, to allow accrued value, realizing that, oh, this wonderful new building that we have eventually is going to have some wear and tear to it, and we can have accrued value. Knowing that the new car retains its worth when it's kept up, when we keep it going good, when we keep it, it can give us years of service through maintenance. And the home repaired and maintained increases as an asset. And equally important, or maybe most important, is that the marriage partner or the family members multiplies in significance through shared history as nuances of the personality are loved and appreciated regardless. And so I like this little saying, there is always, always something to be thankful for. Something to be thankful for. So in obtaining happiness, it's to believe and to receive it. All things are created twice, first in the mind and then in reality. And sometimes what we think about is really grandiose, but the reality of it comes about as not being quite so grandiose. And it can still be mild, and we can still, there is always something to be thankful for. And allow that synthetic happiness is to become a key to finding authentic happiness. that I have this, I'm not real happy with it, that you know what, it's something that is needful, or if not, well, let's just pass it on so others can benefit. When there is no turning back, your mind is free to find a way to make it okay with reality. There's always something that we can begin to see things from a different perspective, and then make right things work. Begin to know what truth is, what reality is, what is good as opposed to not good, what is righteous as opposed to unrighteous. And then be creative in stretching our resources so that we can have enough. And be thankful for what you do have left. You know, after whatever has been, to be thankful. There's always something that you can be thankful for. And receiving the gift, and it's a gift, it's something that you have to make a choice over, of always being thankful for what is, what is, what is. And note that is, is a present perfect tense verb. And so that's always going on. You know, is. If it is, it is. If it's not, it's not. Because is a perfect present tense verb. So the thing of it is that you're in charge of your own happiness. It's having what you want. It's wanting what you have. And in looking at our scales, that, you know, what I have plus what I want, sometimes it's way, way out of balance, because what I have is over here, but I'm moaning and groaning and for what I want. But as we can begin to focus on, I will take care of, and I will be faithful to what I have. And then as we begin to look at how can I keep things in good repair and so forth, we can begin to even it out, that what we want becomes what we have. People may contribute to, but they do not cause our happiness. They may contribute to sadness, but they don't necessarily cause our sadness or anger or disparity. Trying to parlay your need for happiness on others is futile. It's absolutely futile. Happiness is finding inner joy amid difficulties, amid outer conflicts, amid things that rainy days, there's a lot of things. You can still find inner joy. And the choice is yours, always, in every situation, the positive and the negative. So, a plan of action to have fun, yet not overly competitive. It's something, begin to look at who you are, how you see, what you are doing, how you are emoting, what you are thinking, what you are believing on a daily basis. Monitor those things and evaluate. And realize that maybe you need to do things and come to the bottom line with things on your own without depending on others. Not that you could not talk with others for some input. And then know that belief has its value, and whatever, just cut out the criticism. Even if there's something that needs to be looked at to see if it needs to be somehow brought up to a balancing line. So thank you very much. Think you can do it to go along with happiness? Well, I think you can. So thanks for being here, and many blessings.